Now, the world hadn't seen anything quite like them. 30 years ago, the Sex Pistols shocked the nation with their controversial punk image and outrageous stage shows. Venues across the country refused to let them perform, except, of all places, the Winter Gardens in Cleethorpes. Elaine Dunkley went to find out why.
Back in 1976, the quiet seaside town of Cleethorpes opened its doors unknowingly to what would become one of the world's most notorious bands for generations. It was an appearance on the Bill Grundy programme that made the Sex Pistols and punk front page news.
Nothing, a rude word. Next question.
No, what was the rude word? Was it really? Good heavens.
Within days, 16 out of 19 venues cancelled the tour. Jimmy Jackson was the manager of the Winter Gardens at the time, and not aware of all the media furore that surrounded the band, he allowed them to play.
What I didn't realise, apparently, that they had to have permission from the mayor in order to perform. I knew it was to be a lively do, and by God it was. They whipped their audience up into a sort of frenzy, which is something that we had to watch. Yes, we had bits of trouble, one or two scuffles, and the window broken outside, that sort of thing. But it was a great relief when it was over. And one thing I didn't realise until afterwards, that only 2 places in the whole of the country had put on the Sex Pistols. One of the Winter Gardens and the other one in Manchester.
Johnny and the rest of the group left behind 3 broken windows and a legacy of punk in the seaside town of Cleethorpes.
30 years ago, it changed what people were listening to in the Cleethorpes area. Up until that time, it had been known as a rock venue for many, many years, with such big bands as Queen playing there, Sparks, Cockney Rebel. So we had a whole array of bands, and all of a sudden, punk came along, and it changed all that.
Also on the bill that night to play in Cleethorpes were the Damned. No love was lost between the 2 punk bands when the Sex Pistols dropped them from the lineup.
I mean, if it wasn't for them swearing on TV at the Bill Grundy show, it would have been us. We would have been the greatest, most preeminent punk group in history. And I could swear on TV as good as anyone, you know, but never got the opportunity. So, tribute for the Sex Pistols, no thank you very much. They're a bunch of sods.
There is no future in England's dreaming. Following public outcry, every gig played in those days was a minor miracle for the Pistols. And Cleethorpes played an instrumental part in the history of one of the greatest punk bands of all time.
So Cleethorpes, and that's it from us this evening. Thank you very much indeed.